Here, I'll walk with you. I'm running late, and
Me too.
and so are you. All right. So, good morning. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Good morning. So we got the band, and we got the singing ushers, we got the late mother. We got it all today. Welcome. Grace and peace to you. Welcome to you. I call your attention to announcements. Take a look there. I think it feels to me that there's a lot of people that are skipping church, having breakfast, brunch, or whatever with their moms, significant others, whatever. Well, we wish them well anyway. Okay. So, well, take a look at all the things that are going on, and please continue to lift up the work of our congregation. And so glad you're here. So, happy Mother's Day to you, all of you, and to all people who carry on the virtues of love, support, caring, and nurturing. All of those things that help our world be a tender and kind place and a place of strength. So we celebrate all of that. So welcome. Well, let's stand if you're comfortably able, and let's sing some songs together.
You're not allowed to stand still to sing this song. You have to move a little. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. We are many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other, but we are in touch with one another in one great tapestry. Weave us together in unity and love.
In thinking about this day, the omnipresence and care of God, and the omnipresence and care of women in our lives and in this world, I want to share with you reading from Psalm 139. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path and my lying down, and you are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit? You are like my mother with eyes in the back of her head. Where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light to you. How often, when as children we would have nightmares, and our mothers would come to us and reassure us that we were safe. God, you are like that. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works that I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them as yet existed. How weighty to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. I try to count them. They are more than the sand. I come to the end. I'm still with you. Search me, O God, and know my heart, O God, my mother. Test me and know my thoughts. You are always with me. May the Spirit of life bless the reading, the hearing, the living of the word about life. Amen.
May the air be washed with sunlight. We call this place into peace. The light and shadow of life rest here and breathe with the breath of the earth. With that blessing, let's look together at Womanly God by Mary Ann Ebert. Womanly God, who are you? The weaver of warm garments and magic tapestries. The homemaker, welcoming and accepting. The sister, second half, disturbingly other. The listening, reassuring friend, silent consolation. The delightful daughter, discovering and dancing. The encouraging teacher, suggesting new words, new vision. the back-breaking planter of fields, weeding, reaping, the treader of wine, the nurse with full breasts and herbal remedies, the young bride, the fulfilling wife, the desolate widow, the free creative maiden, the long-living treasury of wisdom, the wind that makes the heart sing. And I would add to this, the leader with fierce vision, demanding justice, lighting the way through the darkness.
Amen. There have been a few moments here and there in my life when I saw my mother not as my mother, but as a human being. There have been moments when I thought, I do not really know this woman. And those moments are uncomfortable. They are intimate in a way that transforms our relationship. It gets transformed in those rare moments. Sometimes we're so good at keeping people in their roles that it's difficult for us to see them in any other way. It's difficult to see them as anyone else. It's easier for me to keep my mother in her mother box. It's like the time I saw my second grade teacher in the grocery store. What is she doing in the grocery store? It never occurred to me that teachers had a life outside the classrooms. I never thought of my teachers in any other way. I never really thought about it at all. But seeing Mrs. Hunter in the grocery store was earth-shaking. It forced me to consider all kinds of new ideas. Do teachers have spouses? Do they have children? Do they have parents? And oh my God, if they have parents, how old they must be. I think I've seen them eat, but I thought they only ate school food, like animals in the zoo only eat zoo food. Yet here was my teacher in the grocery store. How did she get here? I thought that maybe teachers were like G.I. Joe or Barbie dolls, idealized and packaged in boxes and put away until it was time for them to teach again. And I dismissed the absurdity of that notion pretty quickly, but I did entertain it, and there were aspects of it that appealed to me and seemed right to me. See, teachers were like gods, not human. It was quite a new notion to me that teachers were people too. It was quite a new notion to me that they had lives outside their dominion of the classroom. And so it is with my mother. I had a slow dawning realization that she had a life before she was a mother. Wow. I have to make myself think and acknowledge that she has a story beyond the confines of motherhood and being a wife. It is always a new level of awareness to me that my mother is a person too. She has a life and multiple storylines separate and intertwined with her storyline of being my mother. Wow, this is amazing, wonderful, and how dare her? My mother has been an employee. She worked many different jobs. My mother almost became an airline stewardess. She was pretty enough. I can remember many times she would bring cupcakes as my room mother, and my classmates would comment how pretty she was, and I felt proud. She's been a friend to many different people. She has interests beyond her family. She was a Cub Scout den mother, a band booster, a Girl Scout leader, Tupperware manager, a big sister, a preschool teacher, and a preschool curriculum specialist. Even though this June she will be 80 years old, she still has a childlike curiosity and a sense of awe about life. She sees faces in the landscape of mountains and animals in the shapes of the clouds. She is proud of the men her sons have become, and she still tries to nurture us. Sometimes she calls my brothers and I by each other's names, and will often include the list of names, in the list of names, the name of every dog she ever loved. And despite this, we recognize she loves us, and we will always recognize her affection when she calls us by her favorite name of endearment, Pumpkin Doodle. One day, she happened to come by my place of employment at the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center in Evansville, Indiana. These are some pretty hardened men. There I would work with drug and alcohol addicted homeless men, and these men who had several families scattered throughout the country, and they lived the culture of the streets and the culture of prisons. In front of them, she says goodbye to me, shouting, "Goodbye, I love you, Pumpkin Doodle." It made quite an impression on them. My mother is old and young at the same time. She is trying to heal the little girl inside of her, but every year she grows in grace and healing. I see things she wants me to see and things she doesn't want me to see. I'm still working out what I see and whether or not I want to see it. And this says more about me than it does about her. It speaks to my own need to grow and stretch my capacity to see her, to know her, and love her as my mother and as more than my mother. Courtney Martin is a columnist for On Being, and she writes about this experience. She wrote, I'm quoting, "I'm struck by the power and perhaps related paucity of these moments. There are so few of them. Even now, 37 years into knowing her, it's like I can totally see her. I can't totally see her, I can't totally see her. I'm too close. It's like I'm a museum wanderer standing far too close to the large-scale abstract painting that I'm madly in love with. If only I could step back and take it in its entirety. But I'm stuck studying an inch at a time. If only I could look at my mom as she is rather than as a psychic's prediction of what I might become. Or a generational spell to break. Or a saint to worship. Or a wound to heal. It's all so confusing, so muddled. I'm old enough to understand that it's so much more about me than her." Unquote. There are a couple of things my mother told me that I carry embedded in my character. She said it to me growing up, and she still tells me this when we speak on the phone. "Ken, I will always be your mother." As my mother ages, I see the need for greater care and nurturing, but it will be care and nurturing not as she did for me as a child growing up. It's not a role reversal. I can hear her say, I will always be your mother. Sometimes she says it to reassure me, just like the presence of God in Psalm 139. I can always count on her love. Sometimes she says it to me to remind me of my place in the hierarchical dimensions of our relationship. I will always be your mother. My care and nurture of her needs to be characterized as adult to adult, not parent to child, or any other kind of role reversal. Life is whatever you make it. This one is powerful. She would say this to me, and it always meant that I'm responsible for my well-being and my destiny. One time when I was moping around after a heartbreak, she threw a chair across our dining room and put a dent in the wall. She said, "Stop it. Life is whatever you make it. If you love her, then tell her, but quit feeling sorry for yourself." And so I did. And those words have served me all my life and have brought me courage and some of the best things in my life. She said, I'm not a thing, I'm a person. I'm talking about you and other things, but mostly about you. Okay. Quit while you're ahead. Yeah. Okay, never mind. There was a joke. There was a joke about. Okay, never mind. All right. So anyway, friends, I hear these words and many other wise things from my mother, but as I grow older, I hear more than the voice of my mother. I hear the voice of this totally other human being. For my whole life, the voice of this totally other human being has been calling me to be the best human being that I can be. And it just so happens to sound a lot like my mother. And so, I hope my mother knows I see her for so much more than just my mother. And perhaps that is an appropriate gift for Mother's Day. Amen. Right. You're on.
Today is Mother's Day. The story of the modern celebration of Mother's Day goes back to Anna Marie Jarvis, who founded a group called Mother's Day Work Clubs after the Civil War. The group worked to bring healing to all. Anna Marie Jarvis is very special in our family because she lived near our hometown, and we heard a lot about what she was doing before it got published. She persevered. She started conducting Mother's Day celebrations in 1887. And then, finally, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed Mother's Day as a national observance. The amazing thing is that she really persevered. So that's what we need to do. If we have a good idea, we want other people to join us. Just don't give up. So in the spirit of that care and healing, let us share this special litany for women.
Mother God, spirit-filled woman, source of all living things.
Life into us. In your likeness we are formed. The dark
Your creative energy pulsates through every fiber of my being. You hold me close to your heart and sing your song of love to me. You bathe me with life-giving waters of your giftedness. You call me forth to image your compassion, love, and joy to a broken world. Together, we dance life's passionate song.
Indeed, together we dance life's passionate song. And so we add our celebrations to this one. If you have a celebration, it can be a birthday or an anniversary, or perhaps you were surprised by joy and grace, I encourage you to stand, let an usher come to you with a microphone so that you can share it and we can all hear it. And then at the end of those celebrations, we will all stand together and sing a song about dancing. Okay? All right. We'll start on this side.
Hi, Bert O'Neill here. Today I get to babysit my 3-week-old great-grandson.
Wonderful.
What a joy.
Amen.
Hi, we're Tony and Abba Spencer, and the flowers on the communion table today are celebrating 3 generations of family wedding anniversaries. There's a picture of my grandparents who were married in May, of Barb and Roy up there, if you want to see them, looking like little chickens. And they celebrated last week, and then a picture of us, our 15th anniversary is at the end of this month. And the flowers are actually my wedding bouquet.
Wow. Hey. Great celebrations. Thank you. Gene.
I'm Gene McWhorter, and Cindy and I are celebrating our oldest son, Jeff's birthday, on Tuesday, the 14th of May. And next Sunday, I hope you all will attend the baptism of my newest grandchild, Riker, who's almost 9 months. He'll be baptized here next Sunday.
That's right. Very good. Very good. Oh, yes.
I'm Dorothy MacArthur, and I'll be celebrating my 89th birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Dorothy. Steve.
Stephen and DeMerrill, today we celebrate our middle son's 53rd birthday.
Congratulations. Happy birthday. Thank you. Gina.
Hello, I'm Gina, and I just wanted to celebrate some achievements that I achieved during my softball season this year. It was my last year playing softball, and so that's kind of hard on me, but I wanted to celebrate that I made first team all region. I was first in defense, well, I tied for first. I was 7th in offense, and I earned my 4th pin for being on varsity for 4 consecutive years.
Congratulations. Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben Tackman, and I have 2 things to celebrate. One was my cousin Frankie's birthday on May 6th. Now he is 11, 1 year behind me.
All right.
And the second thing is, I just want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and especially to mine.
Ah. Okay, everyone in the room who feels that they had the best mom ever, raise your hand. No. All right. Okay, Karen.
Hi, good morning. I'm Karen, and my sister, Katie, has been on the Shadow Rock prayer list for a while now, and she's got just a few weeks left of being on the prayer list, so keep praying. She is expecting a baby, and the countdown is on, and she's doing so well and has overcome a lot of difficult pregnancy after pregnancy losses, and we're just celebrating a countdown to baby Charlie the first week of June. Thanks.
Right, very good. Very good. Jack.
Hi, my name is Jack Arenzer, and my wife Jan and I have been on a journey, and we're just glad to be back because we missed you all.
We missed you too. Welcome home. Welcome back home. All right. I invite you to stand if you're comfortably able, and let's sing a song about dancing, life's passionate song.
They cut down and I left high. One life that'll never, never die. I'll live in you if you'll live in me. I am the Lord of the dancing, dancing wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dancing. I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dancing.
All right. Please be seated. Let us give of ourselves and our offerings to the Spirit of life and love for the good work of this church and the good work of inclusion, justice, and spirituality beyond these walls.
She comes sailing on the wind, her wings flashing in the sun. On a journey just begun, she flies on. And in the passage of her flight, her song rings out through the night. Full of laughter, full of light, she flies on. Silent waters rocking on the morning of their birth, like an empty cradle waiting to be filled. She comes sailing on She comes sailing on the wind, her wings flashing in the sun. On a journey just begun, she flies on. And in the passage of her flight, her song rings out through the night. Full of laughter, full of light, she flies on. Many were the dreamers whose eyes were given sight, when the Spirit filled the dreams with life and form. Ooh, here. She flies on. Chorus. She comes sailing on the wind, her wings flashing in the sun. On a journey just begun, she flies on. And in the passage of her flight, her song rings out through the night. Full of laughter, full of light, she flies on. Sing the fourth verse. Flying to the river, she waited, circling high, high above the children grown up full of grace. After the deep darkness that filled all the world, she at dawn returned to blaze of rising sun. The chorus. She flies on the wind, her wings flashing in the sun. On a journey just begun, she flies on. And in the passage of her flight, her song rings out through the night. Full of laughter, full of light, she flies on.
I appreciate the improv with the ooze, since I left out half the verses. And it wasn't like verse 3 and 5 and 7. It really was literally half the verses. I invite you to stand if you're comfortably able and join me in the parting of spirits and loving the world. And you're invited to coffee chat. My understanding is we're going to have egg salad. All right, yeah. So we celebrate eggs and the chickens that laid them. And
They're hens, you know.
what? What?
They're hens, you know. They're hens.
And well, God. I think we better call it a day. Here we go. Time has now come for us to leave this sacred place. As we do, may we embrace the challenge. I get it. Hens are, yeah, it's Mother's Day. They should be hens, not just chickens. Chickens kind of generic, right? Chickens could include roosters. Is that true?
Yes.
Right? And we're not talking about roosters. It's not their day. Their day comes in June, which nobody pays attention to, by the way. All right, I'm sorry. We have totally gone off the rails here. Let's start again. All right. Time has now come for us to leave this sacred place. As we do, may we embrace the challenges of our lives and our world.
Amen. May it be so.
These are the times.
We are the people.
All of creation is blessed.
May we love all and serve all.
God be with you.
And also with you.
Amen.
Thank you.